Starting back in the 70s, I did research with people over the age of 65, and I started to interview people saying, if you could live your life over, what would you do differently? And there are three themes that came out over and over again in that research. Number one is people said, if I could live my life over, I'd be more reflective the second time around. I'd stop, push the pause button, step back, look at the bigger picture. So reflection is kind of a word people don't use all the time, but looking at the big picture or looking what's going on in one's whole life, we need ways to do that. And sometimes a sounding board or different places like that can help us do that. Secondly, the elders that I interviewed over 65 said they would be more courageous the second time around. Courageous had to do with not so much climbing mountains or traveling to exotic places. It was, I wish I would have been more courageous in my relationships and in my work. Those are the big two. Big surprise, big shock to me. I wish I would have found work that brought more of myself forward. I wish I had been a better friend, a better parent, a better spouse. That's where people tend to have their regrets. A lot of people now working, having to work, or wanting to work post 65. Why do they want to do that? A lot of it has to do with social connection. They don't want to be disconnected from the world, and work is not the only place, but it's one place. I'm a vocational psychologist by training. I study this. This is one place where people really do get connection and do get over their feeling of isolation. Work gives them a reason to get up in the morning. It may not be perfect work, but it's work that connects them with other people. They have a schedule. They feel like they're making a difference perhaps in the world in some way. And so that courage of making those kinds of choices, we need to help people at all stages, but particularly in the 50-plus crowd, to look at ways to make that kind of contribution through their work as well as through their communities. The third theme, so we had reflection, courage. The third theme is purpose. Every single human being that I have interviewed over 40-plus years of doing this kind of work, and I'm more passionate about it than I've ever been in my life now, has wanted to make a dent, to make a difference. Somehow human beings in their DNA want their life to matter. And when they feel their life doesn't matter, when they feel isolated or pulled back from that sense of connectivity or that sense of engagement in the world, they simply just don't do as well. So purpose is something we can help people to name and make moves forward on, and that's what AARP is doing in so many ways, is opening that conversation up for people, that choice up for people to really reflect, be a bit more courageous, and to see where their dent is going to be, their footprint in the sand. And that makes all the difference in the world when it comes to this whole topic of isolation.